All right, everybody, welcome back. We got a lot of great content coming to you here from Pack Expo. Alexa's already recorded a great industry update for you. We had an interview with Cory Connors, the sustainability podcast expert, which is going to be really great for you. Now we're going to give you some of the insights to some of the great exhibits here at the show. I know Alexa's got a great presentation for you about the Sustainability Center, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit around the booth for those of you that couldn't make it out here to Vegas. We'll give you some demonstrations here. So follow me on into the booth. I got with me here our sales reps. We got Daniel, Sales and Marketing Coordinator, and John Longoria, our Account Manager. So boys, how's the show been so far?
It's been perfect.
It's been pretty busy, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to kind of go through, like I said, you guys might have heard me. We got all of our customers back home that didn't make it to the show. Let's kind of give them a rundown of what they could have seen here. So what have we been showing customers here in this corner?
Well, right behind us, this is our case erector, the CE30. It's more meant for small boxes to be run through. So what we're showcasing over here, it's going to pull out these boxes, seal the bottom of it, and then it's going to spit them out on the roller table in the back. And that gives you the chance for any workers that are on the line to be able to fill that packaging. And then afterwards, if John wants to go ahead and show you what that case sealer is going to do right after.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second. I got some questions
you got
here.
some questions?
I definitely got
Got
either one, you feel free to chime in. Or,
Yeah.
I know you guys have to share your microphone there. So you said small box case erector.
Yes, sir.
What about if I got a big box or a medium-sized box or something?
We do have bigger case erectors. We have a CE40. We also have the high-speed one, so it does 20 to 25 boxes
Wow.
per
Wow.
minute. And we also have for large boxes, the CE50.
20, so that's almost a box every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Do
pretty
you think,
fast.
I know we once did a man versus machine. What do you think? You think you can put a box together in 2 seconds, John?
Probably not.
Not
I
that
would not bet
fast.
my money on that one.
And we are in Vegas. We definitely have, put your smart bets
So,
in.
yeah,
So
if you want to.
yeah, let's try. Well, I just had a thought, and now it just slipped me barely. Okay, so small box. What about the tape? So it tapes the bottom. Tell me about the tape that it uses.
So this is going to be, I want to say it's the hot melt tape.
Right, and then what about size and width and everything?
Oh, so we have 2-inch and 3-inch tape heads.
Okay.
To go with these boxes as well.
And that's the width of the tape.
Say that again.
This one uses 2.
This one uses 2-inch.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, pass it to Danny. He knows a little bit more about the case erector.
Yeah, and then for any small box case sealers, erectors, they're going to be using 2-inch size tape.
All right, and then on the larger boxes, they can upgrade
Yeah,
to the
they have
3-inch
that
tape
option
instead.
to either switch between a 2-inch or 3-inch, depending on what you prefer.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so that tapes the bottom, spits it out. Now you said the high speed is 20 to 25. What's our regular run rate?
This one is getting up to
10 to 15.
It's 10 to 15. It's still pretty solid. Maybe you can do one in 6 seconds.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'll bet my money on that.
And
betting
then,
on that one?
so we got our chute here where we stack up our flat boxes. It does its magic, spits the boxes out. What's this guy right here?
So this is our. What is this one? This right here is our Freedom 21. So this was if you needed something printed on the outside of the box, for instance. I'm just going to go ahead and just run one for you.
If you want to let Quentin come around and show him where the print head is on the corner there. So it's right down there. All right, so that's got the Freedom 21, that's a case coder.
Yes, sir.
That's our 2-inch print, right? So essentially what we've integrated here then, if I'm understanding you guys correctly, is we've added that on. So now not only are we forming the box, we're also printing information on it all in the same step. A lot of efficiency, automation going on here.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know if I can, is there anything that I've missed pointer-wise that we need to tell folks about it? I think we touched on everything.
To my knowledge, what about you, Daniel?
Yeah, it does have some great safety features as well.
Okay.
Regarding towards the back of it, so that way you don't run into any clogs at the ends. There is a sensor that's going to pick up whether there's going to be a box at the ends. If there is, it's going to stop that machine so that you don't have constant boxes coming up and filling up.
So if you got a backflow or something, it's not going to keep spitting boxes
it won't
out.
keep spitting it out. It'll stop it right there until that sensor's
All right.
clear.
Exactly.
Well, that's,
and then, if you're opening up any doors around the sides, that's also going to cut the air pressure so that no pieces are moving around whilst that door is open.
And that just last question then, so you just mentioned it there, so Power supply is a standard 110, right? And then also they need
Air pressure as
they
well.
need an air supply too.
Air
So
supply.
that can come in the matter of if you have plant air or you need an air compressor. But I believe I heard Samuel say the other day it needs to be able to run about 60 to 80 psi to run efficiently. So let's go ahead and try. I know I told you guys not to touch the equipment, but let's see if we can run a box through without a technician.
I know we've been following the rules, but you're not leading by much example this week, Ken.
All right, here we go.
Perfect. And then yeah, so once that box is spit out, it'll come over here. We have a photo eye sensor right here that'll trigger this printhead when it start printing. One of the best buy date barcode, QR code on the side of the box. That's good here. And then here is where if you wanted to fill it, and then once everything is filled, you come over here. I'll have Daniel come put this box through the case sealer.
All right, so now we're at this step. So now we got a nice working station here. Folks can fill up their boxes, and then we have our case taper here. So which model is this? This is our
case sealer side belt for small boxes.
For small boxes. Okay, so we got the side belts there. Tape head, is it like this one uses 2-inch tape? And then again, like my other question, what if I got bigger boxes?
So for this one right here, you can easily adjust the belts here and up here manually. And I want to say the dimensions on this, it goes from like 5 by 5 by 4 up to 20 by 20. So it does a variety of boxes, which is whatever size you need. And if not, we also do carry case sealers that are bigger as well.
Okay.
For the bigger boxes.
Right. So we got bigger case sealers for bigger boxes. What about heavy boxes, Daniel?
Heavy boxes, then we do have an option. Most of these are going to come with 2 motors.
Okay.
We have a version that it comes with 3 motors.
Okay.
So that way you have a little bit more power behind if you're having heavyweight boxes.
Okay. And I believe that should be about 35 to 40 pounds or more, right?
That's right.
In terms of. All right, so then we pack one other thing here. It looks like this has another fancy screen on it, like the case erector. Is this the same printer, or is there anything different about this one?
No, so this is going to be a little bit different than the Freedom 21 that's on our case erector. It is a part of the Freedom series printers. This one instead, though, has 2 print heads that are going to be located they can either be on both sides of the same, or you can have them on either side of the box, just in case you need a message that's going to be printed on both sides.
Okay. One question I should ask, and you guys have probably been asked this at the show. So does the printer come with the case sealer?
It does not come with
Okay.
the case sealer, but this is a great example to showcase what our case sealers and our printers are capable
All right.
of doing.
Well, let's go ahead and give them a little bit of action. Do we want to spit a box through,
Perfect.
and then? Perfect. Nice cuts on the tape there. And then I got my final question that I'm sure you guys have been asked a bunch too. This all looks very nice, very solid, sturdy equipment here. What am I talking about? What's this going to cost me if I need to get a setup like this? If I need to get a case erector or case sealers, what are we talking about?
So the prices can definitely vary with the equipment right here. With our small boxes, it's about $21,995.
Okay.
For just the case erector.
That's just for the case erector. $21,995. Okay.
And then for our small box case sealer, you're looking at about $1,795.
$17.99. And then on that, we do have, like they said, we have other case sealer models as well that range. Our standard size case sealer at $13.99, and then all the way up to the 3-motor case sealer is actually $29.99. So, well, let's move on. We got some customers checking out the case erectors, guys. We can maybe take a look over here. Let's kind of follow along. Daniel, what is this?
So this is our liquid filling production line.
Okay.
So
Maybe we should start down there at the end. I'm going to go around back so we have more room.
So right here at the beginning, we have our filling line right here in the beginning. We have 4 heads for 4 bottles to come by. There's 2 pieces that we're missing right now, just due to sizing. We want to make sure we had room at the booth for all of us. It's the accumulation table at both the beginning and ends.
Okay. All right. So you said a 4-head filler. This is liquid filler. What about other type? When you say liquid, I should say, what are we talking about? Like water type liquid? What if I have like syrup or peanut butter?
So
something thicker?
It's definitely going to depend on the viscosity of that liquid. If depending on if it's going to be a little bit thicker, we do have options.
Okay.
For depending on the hosing that needs to be required.
Okay.
For that liquid that's going to go in there.
All right. So this is a three-piece set or three-step process we have here. The filler, and then we have a pretty slick-looking device here. What can you tell me about what we're looking at here?
Yeah. So that's our SneedJet Infinity. That's going to be our wireless printer. You're able to either connect it through your phone or computer to make all those changes, and you don't have to be right next to it with the controller, making all that change on your settings, the message that you want to print. Of course, if you prefer a controller, then we do offer a controller option too, if that's something you prefer.
That's what we have here, a little touchscreen device as well. Very slick. So that's here for basically printing, date coding, or anything you want directly on the package. I don't know if the gloss there, if you're able to see that, Quentin. We can see that print there. We're moving on down the steps here. John, come on and join us. We aren't trying to leave you out. What is this? This looks pretty fancy. What does this do?
So this one right here, I believe you will have to have someone put the caps on over here, and then we'll go ahead and twist it for you here. And then we have the SneedJet Titan 22 here, the dual head, of course. Same as the Freedom, but instead of the 1 inch, you got a 1/2 inch.
Okay, so that's set up. That way you can print on both sides of the bottle if you want. So a capper here that'll seal and tighten the cap. You said it does require a manual person to put it on. That being said, we do have the ability to add on a hopper for the caps, I believe. So that is an add-on that's available. Again, like Daniel said, we're also, this complete setup comes with a rotary table, in-feed table at the beginning, and accumulation table at the end. But then one last step we have here, John, looks like a labeling machine?
Yeah, so this is our tabletop labeling machine. And so what this does, this bottle's going to go through, and for example, it's going to come and give you a sticker right here on the side of it.
Okay.
Just like that.
Very nice.
And then here,
yeah, go ahead.
see what this printer is at.
It's actually mounted in the back there, the print head.
Oh yeah, see there you go. So if you wanted to print on a label like a Best Buy date, expiration date, something like that on your sticker before it gets onto your bottle, you can do so as well.
All right, so that's integrated in there. We do have a sample here for you guys with the date codes on there for you. All right, so that's the Titan printer, and that's the single head. This is our top seller, right, John?
Yeah. Of course, we do have that for $11.95.
$11.95. So with that $11.95, what's included for that?
So it's going to come with the mounting hardware that you see here.
Okay.
It's going to come with thermal inkjet wipe that you use to clean your cartridges.
And then the controller's included?
Yeah, the controller, the wires.
Okay.
All that fun stuff.
Basically everything they need
it
to.
also comes with a USB, so if you wanted to just download it from your PC or laptop and then program it to your computer, you can do so, or you can manually do it with the touchscreen you see here.
Okay. And now with the complete setup that we talked about with the accumulation tables, forehead filler, capper, labeling system, what kind of damage are we talking?
I think for the whole set, you're looking at about $29.95.
Okay. So $30,000.
Yeah, roughly give or take $30,000 for this whole set.
You get a complete production line almost. You add on a coder, still really good price
and
there.
you're still missing the accumulation tables on each end as well.
And then that's all. This is all tabletop. What if I'm a little bit bigger? I need a bigger production. I got more room. Do we also have full-size production lines as well?
Yeah, we sure do. We also have some mobile ones. So say you already had a conveyor line already set up, you would just put it in there. It'll put a label across your bottle from the top, or if you needed it around your bottle as well.
Right. That's the one thing actually we don't have in the booth. That's a good point, is our labeling equipment. So we do also have a lot of great labeling equipment. You can check that out on the website. Everything from just a manual label applicator, like you said, to mobile, flexible label applicators you can roll up and run on your production line. So really good stuff. Great value here, guys. You can see we're continuing on our mission to keep coding simple. We're now also going to keep packaging simple for you, give you some great solutions at a great price that doesn't break the bank for you, so you can keep investing in your business and keep investing in your growth. We have some other things here at the booth. We'll wait for it to calm down a little bit, and then we'll go look at some of the handheld printers, our top sellers and everything that you're probably almost very familiar with. And we do have some new exciting products that are going to be coming out later this year, so maybe we'll get a little sneak peek at those too.
It's impressive to witness the determination that large companies have to implement more sustainable practices in an effort to protect our planet. However, as we start our journey into how these industry leaders are changing their practices to become more sustainable, we must understand that the path to sustainability begins long before we commonly hear phrases like reduce, reuse, and recycle. Luckily, Pack Expo was the ultimate destination to explore sustainability, seeing as though the show was filled with an endless sea of sustainable and innovative solutions. However, the heart of sustainability beat at Sustainability Central, a dedicated hub brimming with the latest sustainable solutions. Join us on our sustainability journey as we uncover the highlights from Sustainability Central. So, starting off, we have circular packaging. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword here, it's a way of life. Companies are dedicated to creating a circular packaging system where everything is used and reused, significantly reducing waste and environmental impact. We then move on to consumer demand for greener options. People are increasingly demanding greener packaging options. A survey conducted by Sifted showed that 89% of consumers want eco-friendly choices at the checkout. Companies are listening and changing their practices in response to this demand. We then move on to cutting-edge packaging solutions. Sustainability Central is a hub for cutting-edge packaging solutions. Companies are showcasing a wide range of innovations from compostable and biodegradable materials to edible packaging, redefining the future of packaging. We then move on to seaweed-based alternatives. Some companies like EvoWare and Sway are taking sustainability to the next level with seaweed-based materials that naturally decompose into nutrient-rich soil. This represents a significant shift away from traditional plastics and toward more environmentally friendly alternatives. We then move on to smart transportation. Sustainability isn't just limited to packaging, it also extends to transportation. Companies like Flock Freight are developing and using smart technology to optimize truckloads, reducing empty space and cutting carbon emissions by up to 40%. Moving on to recycling revolution, Sustainability Central highlights the recycling revolution with companies like TerraCycle turning overlooked waste into new products. This contributes to the creation of a circular economy where resources are reused and recycled. We then move on to our final highlight, innovative plastic recycling. PureCycle's innovative technology transforms old plastic into super pure recycled plastic, potentially reducing greenhouse gas emissions and energy use in plastic production. It's a game changer in the world of plastic recycling. Sustainability Central at Pack Expo isn't just an exhibit, it's a testament to the commitment of industry leaders to a more sustainable future. From packaging to transportation to recycling, they're paving the way for a cleaner, greener world. As we wrap up this tour, remember that the journey towards a better world continues. It's a journey that requires innovation, dedication, and a shared responsibility for our planet. Together, we can create a future where sustainability isn't just a goal, but a way of life.
Thank you, Alexa. So right here we have Cory Connors with us. Cory, thank you for joining us. We're here at Pack Expo in Las Vegas for PMI's annual trade show on packaging. Some of you may recognize Cory from his own podcast. I know you just rebranded it. The new name is?
Sustainable Packaging.
Sustainable Packaging. So lots of great content. I love your drop tests that you do sometimes on TikTok too. So just a lot of neat stuff.
That's Cory Gated on TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, we're trying to do our own TikTok thing. That's kind of Quentin's little pet project. So maybe we'll try to get some pointers from you.
Happy to help. Yep.
So yeah, just how many shows have you been to this year? I see you traveling a lot and going out. And
maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
This is really the start of the busy season where you kind of one after the next.
So you got more lined up through the end of the year?
Yeah, Sustainable Packaging Coalition is next, and then EPAC.
Okay.
So Boston, and then Chicago, and then heading over to Amsterdam for Packaging Europe.
Were you at Interpack earlier this year?
No, I wasn't at Interpack.
Okay.
No, I wanted to go, but had already committed to Waste Expo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then I was, kind of doing my research and homework for the interview here in our conversation. I noticed, so you've been with Aurora for close to 30 years now?
21 years.
Okay.
And 26 years total in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always been around sustainability and recycling? Or?
I started in production. I started out making boxes, which is where I got my nickname, Cory Gated.
Cory Gated. I love a good pun, you know.
Yeah.
And then kind of what got you into like the sustainability side and how did that get started? And
growing up in Portland in the Northwest, we spent a lot of time outdoors and really we cared about the environment. It was something that we were all excited about and wanted to be good patrons of.
Sure.
So Oregon is the first state to have a bottle deposit bill.
Okay.
And so when we would travel to other states, I would say, well, you're not recycling those cans?
Right,
What's wrong with you?
Sure.
They just didn't know.
Right.
It wasn't something they did.
So bottle deposit, is that similar? So my family's from Denmark, and they have a similar, I don't know if it's what they do there is essentially, you bring, every time you buy anything, you bring back a case of bottles to the grocery store, and then you get 5 cents or whatever it is back on every bottle.
It's the deposit scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
They really expanded that in Denmark here the last time I was there. Beyond, it used to just be, a lot of glass, beer bottles and things. Now it's, a lot of carton board packaging has some of that.
Oh,
involved
really?
with
I've
it.
never
I believe
heard
it was
of that.
carton board, but it was,
That's
but a lot more liquids beyond just what it used to be, like around plastic bottles and cans
That's great.
and stuff. And they've also, I remember my daughter made this observation. We have recycling program. I'm in Texas,
Yep.
and we just have a very basic. And I don't know. I've heard a lot of criticism about it, where it's just a catch-all bin. You just throw all your recycling in there.
Yeah.
I've heard that's probably not actually as green as people like to think they are.
Right.
In Europe though, it's just like my uncle has, I think, 6 different bins.
Yeah.
And it's all different categories of stuff to.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's 21 bins.
21 bins. Oh man, I couldn't imagine. Like, I'm already just trying to sort what I have in the kitchen, but that gets pretty crazy. So, of everything you've seen this year and shows you've been to, any really exciting innovation around sustainability that your favorite or anything like that?
There's a lot. And it's a little bit overwhelming, and that's a great problem.
Sure.
But I think what we're going to see is more and more of that, and we're going to see more and more of that implemented.
Right.
Not just talked about, not just,
a
hey,
lot of
check
that.
out this new thing. So that's what we're talking about today at 2 o'clock at the Sustainable Central stage.
Yeah. No. Well, definitely we'll probably
excited
send
about
one or
that.
2 over there to check that out.
But you're seeing lots of things like Pole Pack, which is a dry molded fiber.
Okay.
They don't use any water.
Okay.
Things like Scrap, where you can recycle, where you scan any UPC code and it will tell you if it's recyclable.
That's pretty neat.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
And it's a free app.
Yeah.
So check out them. They're in the Sustainability Central area.
Okay.
Great companies.
All right. And then I have another question, just because, again, doing my homework. You had mentioned here recently in your podcast, or did an interview with a gentleman about some seaweed developments for packaging.
Yeah. NOPLA and Sway. There's a couple of really cool companies that are coming up with seaweed-based films.
Okay.
To replace,
Petroleum-based films,
petroleum-based films, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
NOPLA is even edible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they started with basically these bubbles of liquid, and for running events.
Okay.
So they would hand them out to the runners, and
Right.
rather than a plastic bottle or a plastic cup, you would get this ball,
Yeah.
and you could either eat the whole thing,
Right. Wow.
or just squeeze it, the liquid in your mouth, which
Wow.
they thought was really cool, because then you could just throw the rest on the ground.
Well, and I've been to a marathon or a 10K, a few of them, and those water stations, there's always just cups laying everywhere.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And it can actually be dangerous, because people can slip on the
Oh, sure.
the carnage of the packaging.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of like last question I just have for you is just my own affinity for podcasts over the last few years. How long have you been doing your podcast?
Just over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a spark or anything that got you decided to? Was it start with the TikTok stuff? And
Yeah, it started with LinkedIn, and then TikTok, and then the podcast. But my friends Adam Peak and Avelio Matos each have their own, and they said, "Hey, you should do one about sustainable packaging." I said, "No, I don't want to. It's a lot of work." Eventually, I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And really glad I did. And
how many followers or subscribers do you have now?
I'm not sure how many for the podcast, but there's over 60,000 downloads.
Wow. And that's on a weekly basis, or how often are you putting?
That's in total.
Okay.
But that number is exponentially growing, which
Absolutely.
has really been fun.
Yeah.
Because people care about sustainability.
Yep, absolutely. And then what platforms can folks find your podcasts on?
Any. Yeah. Apple, Spotify, all the majors.
Gotcha. And is it Corrugated? Is that the handle, or what should they
It's
search?
Sustainable Packaging Podcast.
Okay.
With Cory Connors.
Okay.
Or you can check out my TikTok at Corrugated,
Okay.
CorYgated.
All right.
But thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I can't think of any other questions, but I really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, sir.
Visiting with us, and happy to give you we'll show you some of our stuff here too.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it.
Cory. And we're back. We got a little pop there, got pretty busy in the booth, lots of exciting things. Folks are excited about our packaging and coding equipment. Did promise you guys I wanted to bring you guys back by. I found Charles and Samuel catching their breath. They've been helping folks all day long here at our handheld printer station. So real quick, I'll kind of set the stage here. Handheld printers. Why should anybody be interested in a handheld printer? What are some use cases maybe?
Our most common use case is repack.
Okay.
Because not every production environment goes 100% well each and every time.
Right.
So when stuff happens and goes wrong, you got to pull it off to the side. The option is either to shut down your production line to recode and repack that stuff, or be able to have somebody off to the side. And it's so simple to use that you can pull the janitor away from the broom and they can do it.
Okay. And so these are handheld devices. Now, we talked a little bit about our other printers, and throughout all of our content, we focus on thermal inkjet, right? So these are all cartridge-based systems, every single one of these.
Correct.
And then so for my benefit, for their benefit, what are the benefits of thermal inkjet technology as opposed to something else? Charles, you've been doing this longer than any of us. What would you say is
low to no maintenance? I mean, that's going to be your biggest key. Maintenance and downtime is what hinders production. And the nice thing about these cartridge-based systems is if there happens to be a downtime, it's take the cartridge out, put in a new cartridge, and you're normally up and going with less than a minute. Then you can deal with the problem later, and it's an inexpensive problem to deal with.
Right. Okay. And so they use those to print, and then you're talking about recoding, repack, basic stuff, date codes, barcodes.
But you can do logos. You can, of course, do your barcodes, graphics, expiration dates, serialization. I mean, pretty much most of the things that you would need to do, this printer is fully capable of on an entry-level model. If you need to go up even higher, we've got more capabilities, or even, if you need a 1-inch print head, we've got our Freedom series.
Larger print, right? So that's a good segue there. So like you said, they're all cartridge-based, but if we look at these two cartridges side by side, it's just a larger print head. And as I always like to say, this is where the magic happens, right, Charles?
That's exactly it.
And to his point, that's why there's no maintenance. We just take care of this print head, we store it properly, we wipe it properly, and that eliminates any headaches for you guys to worry about. Samuel, do you think we missed anything? Is there any points you'd like to make?
No, actually, I think we cover.
So, and then just operationally, I see it's got a screen on here. So you just do all your programming right here, right? Is there any option if somebody has fat fingers like me? Is there an alternative to using the screen?
There is an alternative. Of course, you can use a stylus. That definitely helps the fat finger scenario, which I'm guilty of. So you've got the stylus. We also have the option of a PC-based software, so you can set up all of your codes on a PC and then download them using a USB drive. Now, one of the things that I did want to point out before we move on is I talked about repack. It's not just repack. That's what our larger customers use it for. But the majority of our customers, this is their primary coder. Our small and mid-sized businesses, this is their primary coder for a lot of their product lines. Be it cosmetics, be it jams and jellies, sauces, putting on the bottom of the bottle, the top of the bottle, the side of the bottle, the packaging, you name it. But they're all doing it by hand because it's easy, it fits in all the nice little places, and it does everything that they want to. When you're starting off your business, money's not always readily abundant. As you grow, we're there to grow with you. But before you get the production line, the conveyor, the automatic fillers and all that, you're doing it by hand. This saves you a lot of time and energy. And the nice thing is when you go to that grocery store and they're telling you that you need to have this on your label, you can do that and it doesn't break the bank. The next thing you know, you're growing and you're in the next facility, you need something larger, and then you're growing all the way up to you need a full 4-inch print with our Excel series. I mean,
and not only that, Charles, but also not from manual to automatic. As you guys have already seen, we can scale and grow with you. Start here, get to a production line, and we got systems there for you too.
And on that production line, our customers will even take this because it is adaptable. We offer a stand. This can become a production line printer. So as you grow, the printer grows with you, up to the point where you need something a little bit larger.
Yep. Okay, and then you did touch on that. I do also want to get in on this. Is our latest and greatest handheld printer, right, Charles?
Yes, it is.
Very excited to launch this summer. It's the SNEED-CAST XL. You mentioned bigger print. You can see here, folks, what we've done is we've stacked these print heads 1 inch each times 4. It gives you a 4-inch print window.
So you can do one 4-inch character multiple 4-inch characters, or you can break that all the way down to a bunch of 1/4-inch lines. So you've got a full print window there, logos, graphics, barcodes. You can put load a spreadsheet into it and print data from there. So a lot of features. This is really great for box coding or marking the sides of crates or any other number of things. Our customers are going to find way more uses than what we'll ever think of.
So it's a little hard for us to really demonstrate the great power of this one. I'm going to have Quentin do a little edit right now. He'll show you some clips of some of the stuff we've done with this, including, like you said, marking crates, marking containers. If you're into the big bulk shipments, you need to put information on your shipping containers.
Don't forget about your pallet jacks.
Yeah, pallet jacks, asset management, if you want to protect your information or protect your property. Pretty good, nice run of handheld printers here. Looks like, let's move over to some new stuff back here in the corner. I see Daniel's talking about the lasers, but Charles, if you want to follow me back here. Now these are not, before my giddy sales rep gets too excited, these are coming soon, but we are expecting to be able to launch these by the end of the year, if not potentially Q3. So Charles, let's talk about this machine first.
So it's basically a tabletop paging machine for small pouches and cards. Load it up, load up your stack, and it's going to pull them through one at a time and be able to print on your cards, your date codes, logos, information. So you've got a full print system. You can do serialization. Great handy little low-cost entry-level device, especially for your products that require like little foil packages or great little way to get your marks on there. Make sure that all your requisite marking and coding is done.
Yep. All right, so this is kind of like a baby version of our current paging
Exactly,
machine,
yes.
but it's got the printer built in. Already full kind of turnkey integrated solution.
And then, once you've marked on the package, from there, you've got to fill it up with it, and then you've got to seal it. So we've got a heat sealer here. It's got another print head built on there so that you can put, you've got your lot number, so you know what went into your bag after you already put some of your markings on it. Goes through here, seals it, prints it, ready to go.
Yeah, again, guys, these are going to be ready by the end of the year, hopefully maybe even Q3. Really excited about these two new developments, just being able to provide you guys with that integrated solution. And we got a couple other neat little things here we'll show you guys. Again, this is kind of from the development team, just to kind of give you guys a tease, but these are all products that we expect to have out here in the coming months. We'll start here on the laser side of things. Charles, you've already spent a good amount of time with this one with our test model at the office, so I'll let you kind of really get into how neat this is.
This is a desktop laser engraver. It can also be portable. This comes off. It's got a trigger on here, so if you needed it to be mobile, it can do that. A little heavy, but it can definitely move around with you. Now the nice thing is it's a fiber laser. It's 20 watts. You can engrave metal, of course, plastics, paperboard, any number of materials. So really excited about this product because there's a lot of customers that need indelible marks. They need permanent marking on their products, be it aerospace or any number of different divisions. So this is a fantastic product. You can do logos, so you can do images, you can do your date codes, your serialization, has all those same features, but in a laser.
Really
now,
cool.
with this one, we take a small little step down, a little more portable. This is a handheld, it's battery operated, so it can go with you. It is also a fiber laser. A little less wattage, this one is only 15 watts, but will do coated metal or powder coated metal engraving. It will also do all your plastics and all your paperboards. Next is our handheld.
Truly handheld.
Truly handheld.
Even you look at this, and it's fairly lightweight too, not very heavy.
Lightweight, very stable, very quick. It's a 2.5 watt diode laser. Long story short, this is going to be great for your plastic packaging, paperboard, your softer materials. But really excited to have this one because, again, for those customers that need that extra little bit of marking, needs to make sure it doesn't come off. This is a laser. Once it's on, it's not going anywhere.
So I do know from our, the battery powered, so it's not going to be as powerful as these other, as this model here. You mentioned the wattage and the power on it. The question I have, just thinking of it, would it do powder coated material?
This will do some powder coated materials, some of your darker colors. But if you have like a light powder coat like a white or yellow.
Right.
It's not a very strong laser. For something like that, we would recommend going up a little higher.
Okay. And folks, I know burning question we get here all day long is pricing. We have talked pricing and some of these other things here. Unfortunately, again, these are from the development stage. We don't yet have pricing set on these items. But again, we have it coming out in the coming quarters. Stay tuned to our emails and subscribe to our content, and you'll see when those releases are
And
coming.
we are taking pre-orders.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, always. Last one we're going to highlight here. This is one I've personally been really excited about since we first, were told that this was going to be ready. And I just unplugged it. Oops. So essentially, this is I see in here it's got the same cartridge head, print head that we're accustomed to with many of our other printers. And then it looks like this is made to slide back and forth, I'm guessing?
Yes, so it's a traversing head printer. So if you've got a product that you need to have an exact position on your code each time, this is great. Set it up, put it in the right position, hit your button, and it's always going to print there in the same position. You don't have to worry about moving anything around. This is designed to be stationary. Again, that way you've got everything is always consistent.
Right, yeah, because we do get those customers that don't like the motion with the handheld. So this is going to be a really neat option. Like you said, consistency is key with the guide rails and everything. It's adjustable vertically and horizontally, so they can make sure that spot, the part's in the same spot every time, and so the mark is in the same spot every time.
Exactly.
So this one I think is going to, we got a lot of customers I think are going to be really excited about this one. And that's a wrap, guys. That's what we have for you here at the booth. Like I said, you got Alexa's industry update. She's got some great highlights from the show for you. We got that great interview with Cory Connors as well. So a lot of great content here. If you didn't make it to Pack Expo, we tried to give you a little bit of some of the great experiences you could have had if you came here. Follow up with us, like, subscribe, and follow. Alexa's always much better at this than I am, but hit the buttons down below, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks, guys.